Welcome to the Catalyst Cast, and we have our special guest here today, Matt.
What's up?
Which is a video game designer in our multimedia production. Dylan.
Hello.
What do you do, Dylan?
That's a good question. What do I do? I do video games.
He does it all, folks. He does it all.
One good dream.
And the man of the hour, the one and only, Michael.
I'm just a co-host, but okay.
What do you like about video games? What made you want to become a video designer?
Well, I like the interactivity of video games because with movies, you just sit back, watch it, and you experience a story. But with video games, you're actually controlling the character. You can make some choices. You run around and just do what you want. And I like the interactivity of video games.
That's cool. What's your favorite video game?
Oh, that might be Metroid Prime or maybe Half-Life 2.
How long have you guys been doing video games? I mean, playing video games.
Playing video games, I want to say my first game probably was on the Xbox, so it might have been 2003, 2004.
2003, 2004 on the Xbox.
At least 16 years.
16 years. Is there like 6 Xboxes?
I started on the Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64, that's my favorite.
Does the Xbox Series X count? Xbox One X count too?
I think it all counts.
Okay, so there's like 6 or 7.
Oh, like mobile games. Do you think those count as like the first video games you would play?
Well, mobile
Does it
games.
have to be like a console?
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
Well-
I played Where's My Water on iPad a lot.
Sounds fun. I haven't heard of it, but yeah.
I like water. It's fun. Yeah.
Water
It's pretty tasty.
keep
You
you hydrated.
can't-
It's the lifeblood of humanity, so yeah.
Yeah, it's great. What is the goals after you finish multimedia class in Woodward?
Get a job.
Get a job?
Yeah, that's
Do you have
why I'm here.
Like a dream place?
I like to design the characters actually.
Design the characters?
Yes, I'm modeling out one of my characters for my test game, and I'm really impressed how he looks. And I just like drawing stuff too. Like I think I like the style I use, and I really enjoy it actually.
Who inspired you to draw the way you draw?
I just took a number of. There was a Polish artist who drew really disturbing stuff. H.R. Giger. That's not him. He's H.R. Giger, I believe is. I don't know. But he designed the alien in Alien.
Oh, cool.
And I love his art. It's really disturbing, but the way he draws it, it's like mechanical, bioorganic. That's what it is. But that's what everyone's style is. They take something from everything, from their life or from movies, and they just mix them together with their own flair.
Isn't it amazing how the CGI has just, like, we could be in CGI right now and nobody would notice. It's so realistic looking.
We're still on the uncanny valley. We're not there yet, but like, what's a good example? Did you see that Matrix thing with the Unreal Engine?
Is it a game?
It is just, I think it's a demo.
Demo?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It looks good, but we're still on the uncanny valley. I say the best one I've seen was Logan, because I think Hugh Jackman was mostly CGI throughout the whole movie, and his clone X-24, that was pure CGI. I
That was
believe.
like a full head replacement. Like that.
Yeah, it was full CGI.
Full
That's-
CGI.
I think that's the most impressive one I've seen, because I did not know. I thought they just had Hugh Jackman just do a camera swap where the man looked like he just had a twin, but no.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I guess since you do video games, you can do CGI in movies.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I can either work with Disney, I can work with Industrial Light and Magic, or I just work with a video game company. The company I would like to work with though is either id Software or Retro Studios.
Where's that at?
Both in Texas.
Texas?
Yeah, Texas is like big for game companies.
You don't have to move very far.
No, not really. That's really why I want to go. But they want the way I know is that they want like you have 5 years of experience in the AAA scene. So I have to start smaller jobs to work with that.
That's
So
cool, man.
yeah.
What about you, Dylan?
What about me?
Where do you plan on working? Like,
I don't really have a workplace in mind, but I have an objective.
what is your objective?
I want to be able to make games on a more small scale, but that people can enjoy. Like I don't want to work for some big company, and because I feel like that makes you lose a lot of the freedom of game design.
Them corporations, man.
And like the reason why I've chosen game design as the profession I want to go to is because I've always liked creating stuff. If it's for like woodworking stuff, but I realized that with wood, like what you can kind of create is kind of set in stone. Like when you have a chair
need to
or when you have a
speak in the
chair or a
microphone
table,
more.
you have like you have a
Sorry.
picture that comes into mind when you have a chair or a table, correct?
Mm.
But with video games, like just whenever you think of like what a video game is, it's like so much more. And I like the amount of freedom that it gives you.
Kind of an entrepreneur.
Maybe.
Just go in your own direction. You're in the Wild West.
I wouldn't be able to survive, so maybe not that far.
I do have plans on opening up my own company too.
That'd be
Whenever
cool.
I do, because I want to work, get to know the industry, the business, how everything would run. Hopefully I won't become too corporate, but I do want to like get my experiences. Because if you make connections, you can get some good deals. You can know people who can help you out, or that's what my main thing is: to get connections and then make my own company. Start off indie, of course, because you have to start small. I actually have a game in mind too,
Oh,
but
what's that?
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Can't tell it yet.
Oh my.
Because I'm keeping it a secret. So.
You could tell me your secret right here.
Oh yeah.
Don't
Most
worry.
definitely. I won't. Can you keep a secret?
Well, yeah.
So
keep
can
a
I. So
little bit of a secret. Just speaking to the ball, man. It's my crystal ball right here.
nah, I'm good.
I don't play video games. What's a good video game to start out with?
Mario.
Mario?
Mario would be a great one.
I like Mario. I remember playing Mario in 64.
Oh yeah. I was talking more like on Super Nintendo, like Super Mario World.
Be able to start on?
That was my first,
Mario.
like a good start for games. Because you don't want to start off playing like Doom Eternal.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna
That's a
say
good
like Doom, but I was gonna say like maybe a Telltale game or just something more story rich and less gameplay focused, until you get used to the gameplay mechanics, and then you can go a little bit further.
I can see that, but I recommend if you're gonna start off Mario.
Mario?
Any Mario game would do. They're all great for beginners.
I could see that. We should have done like a game role-playing thing where I dress up as Mario and you could be Luigi and you could be the shroom guy.
I'm okay being
Toad.
Toad.
Toad. Shroom
Toad?
guy.
Is that it?
Yes, Toad.
Everyone probably knows this, but Mario has like different colored mustache and his like hair is
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
a
Did you see-
rainbow.
like his facial hair is a different color than all the rest of his hair. It's weird.
That's pretty cool.
But if you just take the facial hair off Mario or the hat off Toad, it becomes nightmare fuel.
Is it hard to make games, and what is the hardest part about making video games?
For me, the hardest thing about games is the coding. Have
Coding.
someone else do that. That's what I say,
There you
or look it up. But
Don't ask me to do it.
yes, but it's actually kind of a miracle video games get finished. Like big video games get finished at all because there's such a collaborative process, and like there's so much stuff, like the sound design, how you get the sound, the coding, make sure everything's running. Like for example, if you're a tester, you have to like walk like an inch, swipe your weapon, something like that. I think that's how it goes. Don't quote me on that. And you have to make sure this, like if when you do attack, it doesn't like crash the game or just glitches out. So you have to make sure you have to test out the game, make sure it's fluid, and of course you have to squash some bugs, but that's any game. But I mostly want to do character design and 3D modeling and leave the rest of the stuff to other people. It's nice to know it, like just to know what's possible with the game engine, but that's not my expertise.
Do you write your own like stories for the game?
I do have some storyboards for my games that I drawn out, and they're mostly in my head. But like I do have a lot of stories. I have a lot of character designs. I have like a few notebooks full of character designs.
Man, we should have brought that on here. Wait, that would give everybody your ideas.
Yeah, I was like, no.
But nobody's watching this, so we can whisper into this.
Hey, you don't know that might be dug up later in the future, and people will be like, oh, he always knew.
In my opinion, the hardest thing about game design is the amount of freedom you have. So it's the same thing that brought me into game design, oddly enough. Because like it's so easy to get distracted or add something you want, and then you get so overwhelmed by how much freedom and open space you have. It's like, in my opinion, coding is like Goku going into the hyperbolic time chamber, like this void, and you're filling that void with what you want. And it's easy to get overwhelmed and distracted.
So you're like a process. Do you ever take like a walk by the beach or something, and it just opens your creative juices?
Not the beach, but the lake, probably.
Like,
I like sitting by the lake, listening to the water lap. against the rocks.
Do you burn incense?
No.
Do you ever get overexposed to something so you gotta detox yourself?
Yes, exactly. Overexposed to something that you have to detox yourself to where it's new and fresh whenever you watch it again.
That's a good, because sometimes I have to take breaks from games. Like either sometimes it's always towards finals or towards the end of the school or semester. Is I need either because I'm focusing on finals and homework that I just stop playing games and I just have to focus on this stuff and then I'll play afterwards. But yeah, in my work life, I don't know how much I'll play video games because I think you need to play. If you're in my position, you have to play video games so you can know what the industry is doing and you get inspired. Like, okay, I'm gonna take this mechanic. I think that would be perfect. And also whenever I play a game, I was like, okay, what would I do different if I was in designer's chair, designing the character or making the game?
Do you ever have fantasies of being a millionaire sitting in your chair playing your video game?
Oh,
And
all
the
everybody
time.
just loves it.
Who doesn't?
I think about stuff like that all the time. My ego gets really big.
Yeah. You just gotta work hard. That's what that's what you always have to do. You gotta keep working at it. Gotta keep working hard. You gotta keep
Gotta make
improving
that
your
bread.
craft. Yeah, get that bread. That's why I want to work with a game company first, because you know how much game designers get paid?
Oh, they probably get paid big, like millions maybe.
$60,000 to $80,000 a year, if I'm correct.
That's nice.
But and then not counting of course, another thing people talk about the game industry is crunch time. They say that's a big problem, but I think that's with any workplace. But if it's too much and they don't pay overtime, then that's a problem. But if you get paid overtime, yeah, crunch time is happens everywhere. Especially I bet in the IRS or the taxes or anything that's end of year, they have to go through crunch mode.
You pay taxes?
Yes.
What were your first games and what made you fall in love with games?
Okay.
Okay, my first one was probably Mario World or Godzilla Save the Earth. I'm a huge Godzilla fan.
I love Godzilla.
Yeah,
I
I
have
watched
the
all
movies.
38 Godzilla movies.
What's your
All-
favorite?
Ooh, the original.
The original
From
1930 something?
54.
54.
The Japanese version, of course. The American version came out in 56, but the 54 version is so good. It's old and effects have aged, but the message is still clear and it's not happy. It's really depressing, actually. It's not a fun movie.
I want the suit.
You don't want to be in the suit.
Well, if they have air,
It's-
you know.
They didn't. It's the 50s, and those one of the first ones ever. That it would get up to 140 degrees in the suit.
Oh God, I'd
And
pass out.
the guy, he did. They drank a cup of sweat between each shoot,
Oh my God.
and he lost 20 pounds.
It's some good actually. It's like being in one of those sauna suits, but 10
Yeah.
times worse, 100
Yeah,
times worse.
and it's cushion. It's meant to fit around you, so it was really warm in there.
Hmm.
Nowadays, I think they're better designed, but it's still hard work because you have to go through explosives. You gotta make sure you don't trip and fall, because in a monster suit, it'd be really easy to trip and fall.
That'd be a good shot.
Oh yeah, but still, you ruined the shot, and you have to rebuild everything from the ground up. But with my favorite movie, or when I started off games, I just saw it as a novelty. When I was a kid, I was like, just something to play, you know. But then, as I think it was around junior high, I started seeing my major inspiration for were a few games. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. That's not a real word, by the way. But I love how over the top, because you're fighting a giant robot and you catch the sword of the robot and then you throw him in the air and then you cut him up. There's another part where the robot grabs you, throws you on top of a clock tower. You're running down the clock tower while it falls apart and the robot's shooting missiles and lasers at you. I was like, whoa, this game is amazing. And then another one, Asura's Wrath, which is a little known game. It's kind of like Heavy Rain, but good. It's
Tragic.
It's very anime influenced, but I love the camera angles, the way it's shot, the acting is good. It's dubbed, but it's great, and it's really silly, but it's also really sad and good. But I was just blown away by it, and I was inspired. Also, Contra. I love Contra. That's a little. My game's a little inspired by the game that I will keep secret. Is imagine Contra, Castlevania, a little hint of Doom. That's my game.
You know, I'd love to watch you guys play video games. Just sit back and watch your faces. Just,
What?
oh my God, it's an experience.
That's not my face. I'm just
Just
I'm
staring
with
out.
him.
yeah. Except for when I was playing Resident Evil 7, or even 8, I jumped at a few parts, or I was like, ugh. But usually when I play a game, I just keep a neutral face. Unless when I beat the game, or when I beat this, oh man, I'm playing Braver Default right now, and I have to go fight all the bosses a third time. And I'm not happy about that.
Tragic.
I know, right? It's padding, and the game's already over 50 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm 55, I believe, and they're padding out even more. So I was like, okay, they don't need to have this, but they have it, so I just gotta deal with it.
What was my first game? I think it was either Crash Bandicoot or Mario Kart 64.
Which Crash Bandicoot?
The one on the Nintendo 64.
It's a PlayStation.
Maybe what was that game?
1, 2, or 3.
It was Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah.
My bad.
I need to play that.
It was one of them. Anyway,
I wish I could.
but I just
I don't really play much video games, but it sounds awesome.
Get a Switch.
A sledge,
A Switch.
Switch. Are they expensive?
$300.
$300.
$250 for the light, but you can't connect to your TV. It's also portable too.
yeah. I got the light just for that reason.
No, I didn't. I play on my TV exclusively. I don't play portable.
Fall in love with video games.
That's a good question. Probably the story that people try to get across through video games and such, and how it can tell you a life story and keep people entertained for many hours just through $60. Like, if you go to a movie or go play golf or something, you're gonna spend $20, $30 total, and you'll get maybe 2-3 hours out of it, right? But with video games, you can spend $60 and get 80+ hour experience, depending on what you get.
I'm actually of the opposite opinion in terms of story, because I don't think story in games is that important.
Really?
You don't think the story is important?
No. Gameplay is most important.
I actually,
Because if you had a good story, the only good example I would give is The Darkness, where the story held the gameplay up. The Darkness is a great game, but it's a good story, but it's not good gameplay. But I do some stories where you're like, yeah, this is good. Like, but if a game is not fun to play, then it's not really.
And again, I'm the type of person who plays visual novels where the only button you press is A. So.
Yeah, I only play Doki Doki Literature Club, and that's it. Only visual novel. Oh, does Corpse Party count?
Sure.
Yeah, but like, it's just stories. Because if you play games like Metal Gear Rising or Bayonetta, the story is not.
Does count as a visual novel?
I think so.
Okay.
Because in Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising, the story is not that important, and the gameplay is focused and refined. Metal Gear Rising a little wonky, but with Bayonetta, I have no idea what's going on in the story, but I didn't care. I was having so much fun with the combat, and that's what I will focus on story in my game. It's not going to be a completely storyless game, but gameplay is paramount of all, in my
Are you the
opinion.
person who presses the skip button when you get to a cutscene?
No, only whenever I'm replaying it.
Okay.
I'm the guy that does it like 2 or 3 times and can't get to the next level, so I'm like, I'm done.
I used to do that a lot when I was a kid. Like, there was a lot of games like Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, where I was at the final boss, but I couldn't figure it out, and I just quit. Same thing with Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I was expecting a linear hack and slash dungeon crawler or something like that. I don't have to explore much. You just go in a linear line, but it's expansive. You have to solve puzzles, and I sucked at puzzles when I was a kid. So if there's a puzzle in the game, I'm all like, I give up. But now I can solve it like that. Like, I'm much better. Like, I beat Twilight Princess mostly without a guide.
That sounds cool.
Mostly? I see.
There's some parts where I'm like, where do I go now? But like the Water Temple, which people said they needed a guide for, I passed it real easily actually. And yeah,
The only time I use a guide is when I've already beaten a game and I'm trying to 100% it for the achievement.
funny enough, the only game I've ever 100%ed is 2 actually, Doom Eternal and Metroid: Samus Returns. I want to do the same with Dread, but I want to do that later.
I've heard of Zoom or Doom.
Zoom.
I've heard of both of them.
Great. Which Doom?
The first one.
Like from the OG Doom? Like
Probably,
from the 90s?
yeah.
Classic, man. I played almost all the Doom games actually.
I have yet to play a Doom game.
Do you like first-person shooters? Like intense carnage is
Yeah?
Fast-paced.
fast-paced. Your boy Ramses is actually playing through Doom right now. But when Doom Eternal, when they
I
announced it,
prefer it if they had a melee mode only though, where you try to beat it with only melee weapons.
ha, good luck. Especially Doom Eternal, your punch can't do anything.
Well, guys, we're running out of time.
Oh, wow.
so I really appreciate y'all coming on the show
All right, well, thank you
Or
for having
the-
us.
Thank you.
podcast.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll play video games sometime.
Oh,
Lots
yeah,
of
Michael, I
videos.
forgot you were here.
I need to play some video games.
Michael was so
Great.
quiet. I kid you not, I did forget he was
I
here
saw
for a
you.
little bit.
I